the defendant, Oral Nicholas Hillary, is found not guilty.
And the news tonight, Nick Hillary is a free man after being found not guilty in the murder of 12-year-old Garrett Phillips.
Also tonight, officials announced the arrests of 16 people on meth charges in a drug sting called Operation Northern Watch.
And an important piece of equipment for Carthage Area Hospital. 7 News is next.
You're watching the North Country's news station. 7 News this evening starts now. From our studio in downtown Watertown, here's Ann Richter and Brian Ashley.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Our top story, Nick Hillary found not guilty in the death of 12-year-old Garrett Phillips.
Hillary, a free man tonight. We'll have reaction from him, the defense and prosecution. But first, we want to go back to this morning when the verdict was announced shortly after 10 o'clock in St. Lawrence County Court.
That as to the charge of murder in the second degree, as charged in the indictment, the defendant, Oral Nicholas Hillary, is found not guilty. There having been an acquittal, the court shall enter an order pursuant to Section 16050 of the Criminal Procedure Law. Bail is exonerated and the defendant is released. Ladies and gentlemen, this court is adjourned. Thank you.
7 News reporter John Moore covered the trial from the beginning and was in court today for the verdict. He joins us live from outside the St. Lawrence County Courthouse with reaction from Nick Hillary and his lawyers. John?
And Brian, today's verdict was vindication for what the defense had claimed all along. The circumstantial evidence in this case was not enough to convict. Nick Hillary is now a free man without conditions.
Today I want to express my gratitude to my entire legal team, to my entire supporters, my entire family, my teammates, all my friends, and thanking Judge Katina for making the right decision.
Hillary had top-notch lawyers, including civil rights attorneys from New York City, who made his case their cause.
Nick Hillary has been under this cloud for 5 years, and it's the first time I've seen Nick cry. He's free now. He can move on with his life, and the system worked here today.
If Hillary is innocent, however, it means the real killer of Garrett Phillips has yet to face justice.
This legal team is not oblivious to the fact that there's a family that even after 5 years still grieves, that there's a family that has, is going through a lot. So we're not oblivious to that. But Nick Hillary did not kill Garrett Phillips.
So the system did work, these lawyers say.
But do not ignore the racial overtones of this case and the racial overtones not only in Canton and St. Lawrence County, but throughout the state of New York.
They still believe Hillary was targeted early on in the Garrett Phillips murder investigation because of his race. However, it was not a major part of the trial.
We did not play the race card, right? There was no need to play the race card because the evidence was very, very thin.
It's good over evil. Hillary stands strong. We know that he was innocent. It's going to be difficult for him to move forward with his life, but he gets to move forward with his life and his family and the support. And thank you, God.
So a happy day for that side of the case, but what about the other side, the prosecution and the family of Garrett Phillips? Reporter Chris Spiker joins us now with that part of the story. Chris?
Well, John, St. Lawrence County District Attorney Mary Rain says the person that she believes did it walked out of the courthouse free today, and the not guilty verdict comes after nearly 5 years of trying to find Garrett Phillips' killer.
I am 100% certain that Nick Hillary committed this crime. There's absolutely nobody else who committed this crime.
Devastated. That's how DA Mary Rain described how she felt hearing the words not guilty from Judge Katina. Rain says Nick Hillary was the only person with the motive and means to kill Garrett Phillips.
The judge didn't say he was innocent, and I believe that he didn't do this. What he said is based on the circumstantial evidence, the charges I gave myself, I could not find beyond a reasonable doubt.
After the verdict, Garrett's family spent more than an hour with Rain in the grand jury room before some of them walked out of the courthouse. While leaving, they said they weren't ready to talk about the verdict.
I think they need some time to have a second mourning period because they lost their 12-year-old and now they have no justice for his murder.
Rain says race never played a role in the prosecution. However, Rain says Hillary's daughter,
Shauna K. Hillary, called Mr. Fitzpatrick a name, which on the stand she said she could not remember. But I will tell you that she said in no uncertain terms and called him an effing cracker. That's bringing race into this.
As for prosecutor Bill Fitzpatrick, he left before talking to the press. After leaving, he told Syracuse.com that it was hard to see a killer walk out of court, but that the judge was fair. And John, while the trial is now over, Hillary is still suing the Village of Potsdam and the police department over how he was treated by police.
That's true, Chris, and you'll notice that the courthouse here tonight has gone quiet. All the TV cameras are gone. One family left here today triumphant, while another one still grieves. Ann and Brian?
All right, John Moore and Chris Spiker live tonight in Canton. Thank you. Well, 16 people were arrested this morning as part of a drug sting in the North Country.
It was a joint federal and state investigation into methamphetamine manufacturing and distribution in Lewis County. 7 News reporter Garrett Dumbluski has details.
A drug bust coined Operation Northern Watch. During a news conference in Lowville, federal, state, and local officials announced 16 arrests on charges of sale and possession of methamphetamine and other illegal drugs. Federal charges were brought against Eric Campbell and Kayla Wujek of Port Leyden for conspiracy to manufacture methamphetamine, along with a woman from Georgia. Assistant U.S. Attorney Richard Southwick says in meth cases, arrests like this do actually make an impact.
No one's going to, as a result of any one particular case, stop bringing heroin into the United States from other countries or cocaine. But methamphetamine, since it's made locally, if the people that are making it are arrested and aren't available to make it and purchase the constituent parts of it, it can have an effect, and a deterrent effect.
In all, 16 people were arrested on either state or federal charges, most of them from Lewis County. One of them, 21-year-old Douglas Tuttle, was charged earlier this year with 2 other men after this house fire on South State Street in Lowville. Police said Tuttle and the others were making meth. Officials say some of the arrests were for trading in over-the-counter decongestants like Sudafed, used in making meth.
I think people think, oh, hey, I'm just buying Sudafed for somebody. I'm not producing the methamphetamine. I'm not making it. Well, yes, you are, because in particularly Sudafed is monitored by the government. But when you're selling it to the person who is manufacturing it, guess what? We're coming for you.
Law enforcement refers to the people who give Sudafed to drug manufacturers as Smurfs and says they're not immune to the law. Garrett Domblewski, 7 News.
Well, summer day in fall, we'll take it, we'll enjoy it.
That's for sure. We really did enjoy it today, John Kubis. Can we enjoy a nice day again tomorrow?
I could think a couple of extra clouds tomorrow, but for the most part, not a lot happening over the next couple of days. That'll change just in time for this weekend as an area of low pressure throws back a little bit of moisture our way, and it gives us the risk for some rain showers. Now, there was one rain shower up north in St. Lawrence County. It's pretty much falling apart, and for the most part, that'll be any trend. If you see any building clouds, don't expect them to last all that long because, well, the sun's going to set here in an hour or so. Your lows in the upper 40s to lower 50s with just some passing clouds. Tomorrow, more clouds than sun and maybe a shower over the Tug Hill Plateau. Details on that forecast in a few minutes.
All right, John, thanks very much. And still ahead on 7 News, testing your bone health.
Also tonight, getting out of the military, the Army is making the transition easier.
And in sports, the Watertown Red and Black and the Carthage Revolution do battle Saturday night at Watertown High.
This is the North Country's news station. You're watching Ann Richter and Brian Ashley. Weather with John Kubis and Mel Busler's sports. It's 7 News this evening.
Setting up soldiers for life.
Tonight on Military Matters, a new pilot program will help soldiers transition out of active duty into civilian life. Unlike the program now in place, this pilot is an attempt to make sure each soldier's individual wants, needs, and situations are considered. Soldiers' input will be taken into account, but so will that of their commanding officers, so no career options slip through the cracks. Some soldiers need more help than others in finding those careers.
Those soldiers that need more instruction, more in the way of services, will have that opportunity. And those who don't, doctors, for example, are a perfect example. Typically, their skill set transfers directly into the civilian sector, and they really don't need as much coaching.
Half of Fort Drum soldiers will be part of the pilot program. The rest will serve as a control group. Neither group will know which program they're in. What a great day today was, John.
It was beautiful. I mean, especially for this time of year, you know, hold on to these days because we know it's around the corner, don't we?
Yes,
Just a
we
couple of
do.
months. Details on that very, quiet weather forecast in a couple of minutes. Oh, what a gorgeous day weather-wise today. Let's get right to today's weather photo. It was taken today, as a matter of fact, at Thompson Park by Kimberly Holt, and not a lot going on weather-wise, just blue skies and some of those puffy cumulus clouds. Thank you much. I sure do appreciate the photo. And of course, if you've got one you'd like to share, send it to me at jkubis at wwnytv.net. A couple of rain showers. There was one earlier up in St. Lawrence County, another very weak one up towards Alexandria Bay and Clayton, but for the most part, not a lot going on tonight, and that should be the case area-wide all night long. Still mild. We're at 70 degrees, dew points at 48. Winds from the east-southeast at about 6 miles per hour. Pressure right now is high, and it has been holding steady over the past few hours. Our high 76, our low 46. Looking at the normals for this time of year, we are well above on the average high end of things. Our normal high 65, pretty close to the average low of 44. Records 85. That was set back in 1959. It was a chilly one back in 2000. We bottomed out at 27 degrees. Mid-60s in Messina. 68 right now in Carthage, Alexandria Bay, currently at 70 degrees, 67 in Ottawa, 70 in Syracuse, 69 in New York City. There's a whole bunch of clouds down to our south, keeping them on the cool side of things, and 73 at last check in Buffalo, 66 in Kansas City, upper 80s in Dallas, 68 right now in Billings, warm in Denver at 81. Warmer still in Phoenix. They're currently in the middle 90s. Low pressure down to our south, and this is an upper level low cut off from the jet stream winds. So basically it's going to sit and spin down to our south the next couple of days. This is going to give us more of an easterly wind, and that means more in the way of moisture from the North Atlantic moving on over. So more clouds and sun tomorrow, and a decent shot for some rain in just a couple of days, especially for this upcoming weekend. Your lows tonight pretty much in the lower to middle 50s across the board with just some passing clouds, and the same can be said in Lewis County. A little bit cooler around Barnes Corners. You'll bottom out around 47. 50 your low in Lowville. Up north, partly cloudy for you, and you'll bottom out in the middle to upper 40s across the board. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies, easterly winds at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Highs in the middle to upper 60s, so a little bit cooler because of that extra cloud cover, and maybe even an afternoon shower in Lewis County. 66 in Lowville, 61 in Barnes Corners, and mostly cloudy skies up north. Easterly winds at about 10 to 15 with your highs in the middle to upper 60s. Friday, maybe a shower, otherwise mostly cloudy skies and 67 for your high. Saturday and Sunday, there is that risk of a rain shower with all those clouds flying by, and I think temperatures will be pretty much where they ought to be this time of year. Highs in the upper 60s, lows in the upper 40s to a lower 50s. Finally, that system gets on out of here next week. Tuesday and Wednesday looking very normal temperature-wise, and also sunny as well. And on to today's weather class question brought to you by Mahoney's Auto Mall. Get your picture taken with Pikachu at Mahoney's in Potsdam, and our new location on Outer Washington Street in Watertown, Saturdays from 10 until noon. And that, my friends, is no baloney. Now, true or false, surface winds tend to be stronger during the afternoon than in the early morning. What do you think?
True.
That's a true statement.
Heating.
You've got
Heating
mixing.
in the day,
Yeah, mixing of the atmosphere, and that allows those winds at about 6,000 feet to mix on down.
Oh, there you go. All right. There are some great sports matchups.
Yep.
Red Sox, Yankees, Habs, Bruins,
Right.
IHC, Watertown.
Yes.
And now we've got another one brewing this weekend.
Well, it's in its infant stages. The Revolution Red and Black have never faced each other, at least on the field. Certainly noise off the field, but finally they're going to meet. That story coming your way. Stay tuned. Well, the place to be for some local football history will be Saturday night, 7 o'clock at Watertown High School. That's when the Watertown Red and Black will face the Carthage Revolution for the first time ever.
Billy Caprera has done something I thought would never happen, getting the Watertown Red and Black and Carthage Revolution on the same field for a game. It was something he's been working on for some time after taking over ownership of the Red and Black.
You know what, listen, for years we've always heard the rivalry between the Carthage Revolution and the Watertown Red and Black, and they wanted to play and they never got the opportunity. We put together the opportune time. We got with the Board of Education, with the Watertown High School. They said, okay, come up to the high school, you can play this Super Bowl right here. And I thought it would just be a great situation to see these two teams finally play each other, okay? I think there's a lot of hype out there. I think it's all good hype. I think it's going to be a great, safe, and fun game. I'd love to see everyone show up.
Proceeds from the game benefit a couple of worthy causes.
All the proceeds from this Red and Black Carthage Revolution game will be given to the Hospice of Jefferson County and the Carthage Turkey Bowl Cancer Foundation. Two great organizations, two great teams.
For their part, the Red and Black looking forward to finally meeting the Revolution on the gridiron.
Been wanting to for a long time, Mel. I'm glad that it's happening. We can't wait. Those guys are excited about it.
Carthage, Watertown, this I feel should be a game that should be played every year. It'd be huge for the community. I think everybody will enjoy the game. I think it'll be entertaining. I'm just excited. I can't wait for Saturday.
And it's a chance for the Red and Black to also face former Watertown running back Curtis Dukes. The team getting a chance to face what other teams have had to deal with.
It's going to be a little different. I mean, I blocked for him and I played against him in practice, and I guess it's going to come down to how good a game he's going to have. I'm going to try and not let him have a good one.
We'll check in on the Carthage Revolution Thursday. The
Watertown Red and Black hosting the Carthage Revolution Saturday night, 7 o'clock at Watertown High School. Well, a college soccer doubleheader at Jefferson Community College, the Cannoneer men and women both entertaining Finger Lakes. We have highlights from the women's game at the Coffeen Street campus. A corner kick sets up the first goal of the game as Hannah Mitchell dents the net. Finger Lakes goes on top by a score of 1-0. Lindsay Lovett then picks a corner here, making it 2-0 visitors. Finger Lakes looks for more, but Taylor Andrews comes up with a couple of saves. Not enough, though, for the Lady Cannoneers on this day. Final score, Finger Lakes 4, Jefferson 0. Houston Texans have placed star defensive end J.J. Watt on injured reserve. Watt, who has won Defensive Player of the Year the past 2 seasons, missed training camp and Houston's 4 preseason games after surgery in July to repair a herniated disc in his back. He started each of the team's 3 regular season games and got hurt again Thursday against the Patriots. New York Mets prospect Tim Tebow homered on the first pitch he saw today in his instructional league debut against the St. Louis Cardinals club. Tebow hit a high fastball in the bottom of the first inning over the left field fence off Cardinals prospect John Kulachowski, left-hander who pitched for Vanderbilt University and 2 minor league affiliates for the Cardinals this year. Tebow finished 1 for 6 at the plate. The 2007 Heisman Trophy winner also grounded into a double play, grounded out to short, flew out to center and left field. Mets face the Miami Marlins instructional team on Thursday. Robinson Cano hit a 3-run homer in the first inning. Seattle Mariners beat the Houston Astros 12-4 to keep pressure on the other American League wildcard contenders. Kyle Seager added another 3-run drive in the 8th, his 30th home run this season, as Seattle pulled within a game and a half of Baltimore for the second American League wild card. Houston dropped 3 games back as its magic number for elimination was cut to 2. The Orioles are at Toronto on Wednesday night. So Billy Caprera, playing the part of Henry Kissinger, if you will, going back to the day, was able to get two sides together.
Little bad blood between those teams?
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, the Red and Black's been around forever. Revolution, New Kids on the Block, a natural rivalry that began, and finally they get a chance to face each other on the field of play Saturday night. Should be fun, and it's right around
the corner from us. Yeah.
Let's take a walk over, watch some football.
We're excited about that.
Yeah.
All right, back in a moment. Here's Jeff Nelson with a look at what's coming up tonight. Jeff?
Well, and Brian, a man is arrested accused of stealing a number of golf carts in St. Lawrence County. And we'll have a wrap-up of the Nick Hillary verdict. Those stories at 11 o'clock and 10 on your North Country Fox.
Finally tonight, Carthage Area Hospital has a new piece of equipment that can detect osteoporosis, a condition where your bones become weak and brittle.
This morning, hospital staff cut the ribbon on their new bone density machine. It's been 7 years since the hospital has had something like this. The machine not only can detect osteoporosis early, but it can find any potential fracture risks.
A lot of times women will have not only their mammography but also a bone density exam at the same time, so now they can. And so that just makes it more convenient, so they're not traveling from one place to another, and they can do it all here at the hospital.
Actually, I'll get you.
The bone density machine can do scans on adults and children. The $35,000 cost was covered mostly by fundraisers by the hospital foundation.
And that is our look at local news tonight.
Coming up next, the CBS Evening News. Mel?
Hey, the Red Sox are going to try again and clinch the American League East.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're going to clinch tonight.
Some passing clouds tonight, and tomorrow some sun.
Thanks for making us a part of your world tonight. Good night.